So after watching all of Battle for Dream Island and TPOT, I am finally ready to make my very own tier list. And right now, we're gonna rate every single main and second character while I create the best tier list ever made. So we have a lot of different characters in here. I may have forgotten some, I may have like excluded some, but these are the characters that I feel like are most important. They got like the most screen time, I believe. And we're gonna start off with Leafy. And I'm gonna be honest though, Leafy is extremely manipulative. They're fine in Battle for Dream Island. They do have an appearance in TPOT, right? Or is that in Battle for Dream Island again, where they try to be like friends with Fiery? They try to like start an alliance and so on. I feel like I'm neutral because Leafy is fine in the entire Battle for Dream Island until they actually steal the island. Like, Leafy is the cause for Battle for Dream Island again. So I'm gonna put them on neutral. Panflute is based. I'm gonna say Panflute is definitely a likable character because that is Kevin, right? Kevin, the guy who made like the music that is like mostly featured in Battle for Dream Island. So they're gonna be a likable character for me. Teardrop, even though Teardrop don't really talk, the most that I remember from Teardrop is basically TPOT. I feel like Teardrop is actually a likable character. I wouldn't put them as an amazing character simply because they don't speak and they're like sometimes they're like misunderstood, you know, with the arm flailing where they say like, oh, because you're ugly and you're disgusting and you're smelly and you so on. They're like misinterpreted a lot of times, but I feel like we can definitely put them up in likable characters. Flowery is one that I'm extremely mixed on. I really hated Flower all throughout Battle for Dream Island. Battle for Dream Island, I really hated them. They were like super negative. They were like super angry all the time. But in TPOT, or was it Battle for BFB? In Battle for BFB, they actually really redeemed themselves and became a very, very likable character, an extremely likable character. So I don't know if I should put them on neutral or an okay character. What do you guys think? Old Flower sucked, new Flower's okay character. I feel like putting them on okay character is definitely the case because it's hard to rate or like rank all of these based on their different appearances because based on the season or based on where they are featured, they have like an entirely different personality. Gelatin is funny. Gelatin is super cool. Gelatin is nice. I believe they're only featured in like TPOT and BFB, right? They're not in Battle for Dream Island. But Gelatin seems like a very low-key, chill, likable, relatable character. And they're gonna be the first one that actually goes up into amazing characters because I really like them. They deserve this spot. I really don't like Lollipop. Is it Lollipop? I really don't like them. They have like a very, very sassy and degrading demeanor. They're like, you know, they feel like I'm too good for this show. I'm too good to be here. Just give me the Battle for BFB. Just give me like BFB already. They have like such a shitty attitude and personality. I don't like them. Woody, on the other hand, Woody's only character trait is just but I feel like they're kind of in the same boat with like Teardrop where they're kind of misunderstood. Yeah, Woody is a coward all the way. They're like really a coward, but I can't really put them lower than okay character. I think I can definitely put them on okay character. Yeah, they're gonna be right here. Fiery has a fiery personality. They are a extremely likable character. I like them a lot. They won Battle for Dream Island. So they're not gonna go up to GOAT, but they're gonna be the first in amazing characters. We're gonna move Gelatin over here and they're gonna be first in amazing characters. Blocky, on the other hand, he's a bully in BFB and he's a bully in Battle for Dream Island. And he's a bully in TPOT. Like all he wants to do in Battle for Dream Island is pranking people. And in BFB or like in like TPOT, he's just a bully. He's just annoying. I really don't like him. He's not a bully, he's a prankster. But a prank that nobody is in on, a prank that only Blocky is in on is literally just bullying. So in that case, I don't hate them. I'm gonna get flamed for this. I really don't like Blocky. I actually really don't like Blocky. Bubble! GOAT! Bubble is misunderstood. Bubble has a very bubbly personality. Bubble is such a sweet, considerate, and wonderful character. They're gonna go up to GOAT. Absolutely. Bubble goes all the way up to GOAT. I love Bubble. They get killed a lot by everyone else because they keep on popping them, but I feel like Bubble overall has like the ability to like bring friends together. They can like bring people together and they can also basically vibe with mostly everybody. They try to like find the positive in like every single situation. Yoil Cake! I agree, Yoil Cake all the way. Fish Taco is in TPOT and I feel like they're also a very bright, a very vibrant person. They have like they're an optimist. They try to like find a way forward instead of just crossing their arms and be like, I'm not gonna do that. And in that case, I'm gonna make them an amazing character. I really do like Fish Taco, and not only because of the fish. I really like Fish Taco. Loser? So Loser is kind of like overinflated. They're like really inflated because, oh my god, it's Loser. Loser is popular. Loser is like the best person ever. I think in terms of like what Loser brings to the table is basically not a whole lot, but they're like interpreted, or they're like they are created as a famous person, but they are like the person that vibes with everybody. They're like the good guy. They're like, oh my god, you're so amazing because you're popular. Oh my god, you're so great. And as far as I remember, Loser's personality is just that they are famous. And I don't remember anything else that they contribute to the entire show. So in that case, they're gonna be an okay character, because I feel like they have a fine personality, but their personality is overshadowed by the fact that, oh my god, Loser is famous, Loser is famous. That's my problem. Ruby, on the other hand, is another goat. We're gonna have like 2 back-to-back goats right now. Ruby is a goat. They're a very laid-back person, but they can also take a joke. They can make fun. I feel like Ruby is a very, very nice person, and they also try to make every situation works. So if there's a roadblock, they actually try to go past it instead. I like Ruby. Right now, we're gonna have to make another tier. We made a new tier, which is called Spongy. You already know. Spongy goes in here. Spongy is my main character. They are my favorite character of all time, and they literally deserve their own tier. They deserve to be there. Spongy is super likable. Spongy is super misunderstood, and people just bully Spongy all the time. I like them. I relate to Spongy. Spongy go all the way up to their own tier here. Now, as for the next one, is this Balloon or Balloony, or what's their name? I don't remember a whole lot besides them being inflated or like deflated in like one episode. I feel like they have an okay personality. I want to say they're an okay character, but I don't remember them on screen for so long that I can say anything else, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna put them into okay character.
This motherfucker right here is the worst character of all time.
We're talking about one episode in BFB. One episode in BFB, and suddenly they're here. Suddenly they're, yo, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, you're going into worst character of all time. Worst character of absolutely all time, dude. I hate Profiley so much. What did Profiley do? Profiley is a self-insert. They act like, oh, I have been here all season. I have been here all the time. You guys just didn't notice me. And then they do like flashbacks where they see Profiley, you know, actually interacting and being, he has always been here. No. Profiley is a self-insert where they try to act all nonchalant and cool and be like, yo, I've been here all the time, guys. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Get out of here. Get out of here. Foldy, I'm gonna say that I'm neutral because I don't feel like Foldy has enough screen time for me to like have any opinion of them. I could kind of say the same for Balloon. You know what? I'm gonna move Balloon down and I'm gonna move Foldy over here because I don't feel like they have enough screen time for me to like actually give a good opinion on them. Eggy, on the other hand, is very likable. Eggy is kind of like in the same vibe as Gelatin and Fiery and Bubble and so on, but I feel like again they don't have enough screen time. They are the type of person that try to like find the most positive in a situation. They try to make everything work, but I feel like they don't show up enough to make a whole big difference. So I definitely want to put them in likable characters. 100% likable characters. Basketball. Basketball is... Are they bad in Battle for Dream Island? In TPOT, they're amazing. They are, like, really considerate. They're a team player. They're a very good friend. But in Battle for Dream Island, they are, like, kind of like a doofus, aren't they? Aren't they like a little stinky? Oh, wait, I'm actually stupid. Basketball. Basketball is only in Battle for BFB and TPOT. And in Battle for BFB and TPOT, they are actually a very likable character. They're gonna go into likable characters. Belle... I would say Bill is positive, but the entire, like, secret thing that is up their string is, like, super sus, I would say. It's like, it's a little bit weird in my case that they have, like, a secret heaven or, like, there's something secret. And whenever people touch their string, they're like, stranger danger, get off. So I want to say that Belle is definitely an okay character. I'm gonna put them, like, over here in okay character. They have to be, like, before. You're gonna go all the way, yeah, here, yeah, Grassy. So, after we lost Spongy, After we lost Bubble, we still have Bubble. After we lost, what was it, Balmy, Grassy became my new fave. And I feel like Grassy is super chill. Even though most of the things they say is, I'm Grassy, I really, really like them. So they're gonna go up to amazing character. Snowball is a bully, but they are kinda a likable bully. I remember they are in Battle for Dream Island, right? They're in the original Battle for Dream Island. In the original Battle for Dream Island, I don't really like their personality that much. I'm pretty sure they are in the original, otherwise I may be stupid. But in Battle for BFB or like TPOT, they're very up and down. If they have a friend, then they're like super likable. But if they're like, you know, just trying to like go after different people or like different objects, then I don't really like them, to be honest. So in this case, I want to put them on neutral for now. Now, Robot Flower, on the other hand, is actually super likable because they're not like Flower in literally any way. Even though they try to be like Flower in Teapot and when they actually turned into Flower, I really dislike that because they had like that really like demeanor, like the bad demeanor, like a really bad attitude. But overall, when Robot Flower is Robot Flower, they are a high likable character, a very high likable character. Black Hole, I am extremely divided on Black Hole. And the reason for that is Black Hole, they are very conflicted on their moral compass. And when it comes to Death Pact, we know that Death Pact have to kill, like they need to kill in order to proceed and win. But every time there's a conflict, every time it's a matter of life and death, Black Hole just becomes a massive coward. So I like them when they're not a little bitch. Then I really like Black Hole. But whenever you have that, you know, moral dilemma, oh my god, can I kill, can I not kill? They're gonna be an okay character, a high okay character for me. Now, this is gonna be the controversial one. So I have gotten to a point now where Fanny actually talks sense. Like Fanny actually makes sense. Instead of Fanny's only personality type being I hate blank, after they have like the intervention in Death Pact where they figure out they actually have to kill in order to win. So they can't prevent death in order to proceed. That's where they actually move forward and actually get into a better character. But I want to say at this time here, I'm gonna put them in the far back of neutral. If I haven't seen the entire Teapot, if I've only seen like the first 10 episodes, they would be dislike. I wouldn't say that I hate them, but I don't like that their entire personality type up until you basically have that intervention is just I hate this, I hate that, I hate something else. So they're gonna be on the far right of neutral for me. Lightning is a likable character. Lightning is definitely a likable character, but when they get voted out and they crash out, basically showed their true colors, and I don't really like them for that. I want to put them on the far right side of likable characters because they were a very great character to have with you in Teapot until they got voted out and they crashed out and they started like sapping everyone. If it wasn't for that crash out, they would be voted higher for me, but for now they're gonna be likable. Tree is one of the only ones in Death Pact that actually makes any sense, and I feel like they are again one of the characters that try to stay positive. They try to move forward, and I think they try to stay true to the pact, but they understand what is needed, what is necessary in order to proceed. So in that case, I want to put them into amazing character. Marker is a silly guy. Marker is just a silly goober. All I remember from Marker is them just like running around and having a great old time all the time. So I want to put them on amazing because I feel like Marker is a goober. Marker is just like, I'm having fun. I'm just having fun. So they're gonna be up on amazing character. Remody is, I don't think Remody has like a giant impact. I don't think they play a large enough role for me to like rate them higher than okay character, and that's probably gonna piss some people off, but I just don't feel like they are as memorable as they could be. They are still on the positive side, but I want to put them on okay character. I don't remember Pi. I literally straight up don't remember Pi. I think they got like voted out in like the first couple of episodes of Teapot, right? So I can't really say that I hate them because they're like kind of forgettable in this case. So I'm gonna put them down to like neutral. Eraser is kind of like on the same team as Blocky because they are, I wouldn't say they're a prankster, but they're also like just kind of mean, like kind of bully. They have like a very annoying personality type. I want to put them on dislike. I don't hate Eraser, but I don't like Eraser. But definitely they're more towards like the negative side. Pin, on the other hand. Pen, not pin, Pen. In Teapot, Pen learns that it's okay to crash out. That's the most recent thing that I remember. Checking a couple of clips here, it seems like once again Pen is one of the more positive characters, but I don't really remember what they did or if there's like anything specific that they have done, but they are like one of the more positive ones. So in this case, Pen is gonna be on a likable character on the further right. Golf Ball is a bossy bot. They try to be the one in charge, but sometimes it works and sometimes it don't, and they don't really listen to their teammates a lot. I don't want to say they are a bad character, and I also don't hate them, but I feel like they can definitely learn and be better and actually contribute more. Golf Ball is amazing. I wanna say that they are... I'm gonna put them on neutral. Because I don't hate Golf Ball, but I also... They can be on the right of okay characters. Because Golf Ball do have their moments where they shine. Something like when they have to like build the roller coaster and so on. They do have their moments. But there's a lot of times where they try to basically, they try to be the leader of the group and it just never works out for them. As for TV, TV is smart. TV is nice. I don't remember TV having like any sort of crash out or any kind of like bad situation. So I would definitely put them again up on likable characters, but they're gonna be to the left here. Fries is where I'm gonna be super conflicted. And the reason for that is because in Battle for Dream Island, they are pranking, they are hateful, they are a bully, but in TPOT, they are actually super likable. I don't like them in Battle for Dream Island. They have like a very, very annoying personality type, and they are like also low-key a bully. But in TPOT, they definitely improved over time and became a better person. So I can really only put them in neutral because they switch so much. So for me, they're gonna be a neutral for me. When it comes to Puffball, I would say that they have a very annoying voice. Extremely annoying voice. They do have their moments where they kind of like backstab their team or where they show their true colors, but I feel like they are in it to win it. And in that case, I can't really put them lower than neutral because again, I don't hate them, but I don't really like them. Barf Bag, on the other hand, is a very, very good character. Super positive, team player. They do have their problems. Technically, them and I forgot which else basically started the zombie apocalypse. So I can't really put them on amazing characters for literally starting a life-ending apocalypse. They definitely deserve a spot in likable characters, but they're gonna be further up. They're gonna be like left here. That's where they deserve to be. Coiny is also, again, super likable character. Coiny is kind of like friends with everyone, right? They also do have their moments. So Coiny is a jokester. Coiny is a jokester, but not a prankster. Like, compared to Blocky, for example. The jokes and the pranks that Coiny makes are actually funny because you have multiple people laughing. When it comes to Blocky, it's only Blocky and their associates that are laughing. So I want to definitely put Coiny up in amazing characters. Donut definitely also deserves a spot in amazing characters because they always look out for their teammates. And sometimes they're misunderstood. Sometimes they're killed. Sometimes they're, you know, used for their glue or for their filling or for something else. But they also deserve to be in amazing characters. When it comes to Gady do have their moments with two where they just like sit and they have a good time and they just relax. But in the end, I feel like they become a little bit forgettable. Yeah, it's super sad when they're like pierced and they have different holes in them and they're like, you know, eliminated and so on. But from what I can remember, Gady is kind of like a character just like, you know, is in and then they're just out, even though they have like a lot of bonding time with two. I can't really, because of how they are, put them further down than likable. Gady has a good personality, so I can put them in likable characters. Saw, on the other hand, is like another character that didn't really get enough screen time. Give me like one thing that Saw has done. Give me like one thing. I remember that Saw basically in BFB, wasn't it? In BFB, or was it? I think it was in BFB where they basically sacrificed their new pink handle in order to like, you know, go up and stop them. But I really don't remember them doing a whole lot other than that, basically. So again, we have another likable character up here. Pin is another character that's super conflicting because in TPOT, they are actually okay. In TPOT, they are actually fine. But in Battle for Dream Island, they are so f***ing annoying. They are really, really annoying. So I can really only put them in neutral for that. I can really only put them in neutral because of how annoying they are in like the first couple of seasons. And it's only when you actually get over to TPOT that they become a somewhat likable character. So I can really only put them in there for now. Bottle, on the other hand, breaks all the time. Bottle tries to be positive. They try to be good and they try to help as much as possible, but they just keep breaking over and over again. But they are like a little bit of a pushover because they basically just allow everybody to basically torment them. They allow everybody to basically just like break them whenever they want to. So in that case, they're gonna be again in likable characters here. The clock is the one character that tries to be friends with winner, but they keep talking about loser all the time. And when they're finally eliminated, they have that one chance to actually make friends with winner. And even though they did good in a couple of challenges, I remember like the swing challenge where they used their arm to basically like push the swing all the way around. I feel like they are more of a likable character, because I don't feel like they contributed. They didn't contribute enough for me. Yellowface is yellow, and I like yellow, as you can see here. We like yellow. We like yellow, guys, which means that Yellowface gets. Before I say where they go, Yellowface has a very bright personality. Their ads are like a little bit intrusive from time to time, but they are a character that definitely grows on you. They really do. So the more you actually watch the show, the more they actually grow on you, and you actually look forward to their ads, and their ads is like, you know, actually really helpful. So in this case, I'm gonna put them up on amazing character. Ice Cube is also a super underrated character. They are really misunderstood. They are really bullied all the time, and I know that they don't really speak a whole lot in their, you know, catchphrases. I want revenge, which is like super cute, but they're kind of like in the same ballpark as Spongy, where they don't really, they're kind of like an underdog in this case. Ice Cube is kind of like the punching bag sometimes, but I feel like they have a very vibrant personality, which is why they go into amazing characters for me. I also really like Winner. Winner is, even though they have the entire loser winner arc, or like the loser winner situation, where they just wanted to be friends with loser, and when loser became famous, they kind of like split apart, and you have the entire episode with like the cereal, where you actually have one winner in every single cereal, which is like such a cute moment that Winner was actually included in one of like Loser's products. They do have their moments from time to time where they keep on being associated with Loser, and that kind of makes it a little bit annoying, but I definitely want to put them up on like amazing characters because of how they have like a very good personality. Cloudy is also a character that kind of grows on you, but the way that they speak is like super annoying. It's like extremely annoying. I don't really like how they speak, but again, the more you watch the show, the more likable they become, but I cannot really put them higher than likable characters because of that. We got another goat. We got another goat in here. Bommy is just cute. Bommy is cute. Bommy is adorable. Bommy is, again, an underdog. Bommy is one that people push around, that they bully, that they annoy. Bommy is a goat, and they deserve a spot in the goat. Rocky is, even though Rocky's not entire personality trait, Rocky's personality trait is basically vomiting, but they do have a very childlike, innocent behavior. Like, they are extremely friendly, and I actually really do like them a lot, and they are actually super helpful in like most situations where, you know, the vomiting, oh, even though they kind of like, yeah, they started the zombie apocalypse with Barfbag actually, but they are very when Rocky is on a supporting team, that is where Rocky shines, so they go up to amazing characters as well. We're gonna have to make a tier below. Pillow goes to burn in hell. Pillow goes to burn in hell all the f***ing way, dude. So I know that a lot of people really like Pillow, and I understand that Pillow is sometimes necessary for the plot to move forward, for you to like other characters, but Pillow's entire personality is just being a deranged psychopath. They kill everyone, and if they don't kill everyone, they at least try to kill everyone. Pillow is underrated. Pillow is not underrated. Pillow definitely helps push the plot further and move the challenges further, but all they try to do is explode Bommy, rip price tag, kill every single character. If there's a compilation on YouTube, there is definitely a compilation on YouTube of Pillow killing every single character. Like, I understand if your favorite character is Pillow, then it really doesn't matter who they kill. But if your favorite character is anyone other than Pillow, then you're gonna hate Pillow. So Pillow is either you love them or you despise them. Because if you don't like Pillow's personality from the get-go, Pillow will definitely get to one of your most beloved characters and rip them apart. So in that case for me, they're gonna burn in hell. They're worse than Profiley. If I could choose, like, if we had the choice between Profiley and Pillow, I would keep Profiley. I would have an entire episode dedicated to Profiley instead of having Pillow in here. Book, bright personality, super smart, super helpful, literally a dictionary, goes up into amazing characters. The actual Cake at Steak, even though they're cute, they don't really have enough screen time for me, but they can definitely be, I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna eat the Cake at Steak. And for that, they're gonna be a likable, they're gonna be an okay character. They're gonna be an okay character, but they're gonna be to the left here. Price Tag. Price Tag is also, once again, a super supportive and super helpful character. I don't really remember anything that they did that was, like, impactful. The only thing that I do remember right now is that Pillow ripped them in half, and that was, like, sort of kind of traumatizing, because Price Tag, again, tries to be a team player. I wouldn't call them amazing, but they're definitely gonna be in the front of likable next to Robot Flower. What has Nickel ever done in their life? What has Nickel ever done? Nickel is just a corny ripoff. I would kind of say it, like, I'm looking at a couple of clips right now, and it really, I mean, they do have one episode where they use, like, the triangle to, like, help or something. Nickel is just a funny little guy. I mean, oh, yeah, they do have that one episode where they're, like, you know, glued to TB. I don't really remember anything important that they did, but they can definitely go into likable characters for me on the left side here. They can definitely go on likable characters. Naily, I don't remember them being too much on screen, but I feel like they're cute. I like Naily. They're super sweet. They're super nice. Kinda, again, not really an underdog, but there are some objects that are just, like, easier to bully than other objects, and Naily is one of them because you can literally just, like, shove them into the ground. So I want to definitely put Naily on likable characters on the left side here. Lai is, I don't really like their personality. To be honest, they do have their moments, especially in that episode in the forest where they, like, try to, like, leave the exit and so on. They do have their moments. And they also do have when they, like, go into the past to save Thanksgiving, where they, like, switch around and they steal the character and then they go back. They do have their moments, but I don't feel like their personality is the best. So I'm gonna put them in neutral because I don't really hate them and I don't really like them. Pencil and Match. Pencil and Match, I would say, is, like, very, what is it called? Inseparable. Like, they're, like, you know, two peas in a pot almost. But I'm gonna judge Pencil first because Pencil is gonna be way lower than Match. And the reason for that is because of their crash out in one of the later episodes of TPOT. We know that they got trapped in the exit after BFB, and we know that they got PTSD and they don't want to get back in there. But their character changed, like, they did it like a whole 180 because of what happened in the exit. And I understand, you know, it's allowed to be scarred for life and you're allowed to, like, you know, have PTSD, and so you are allowed to struggle, don't get me wrong, but your problems shouldn't become your personality. And in this case, I'm gonna put them in dislike because of how they changed in the later episodes. They are very likable in Battle for Dream Island again, BFB. But when we get to Teapot, after they exit the exit, they become a very mean and not likable character, which is why I'm gonna put them on dislike. Match, on the other hand, Match is bright. Match is looking forward. Match is basically not trying to be the life of the party, but Match is definitely trying to be as positive as possible. And for that, I can really only put them in likable or amazing. Likable. They're definitely more of a likable character. They're definitely more on the left side. They're definitely more up here on the likable scale. And I actually really like Loser a whole lot more. And I like Eggy even more. I like... Yes. Bracelet? The only thing that Bracelet wants to achieve is Ice Cube's attention. And I feel like that's the entire thing that their goal is to just be like, oh, I want Ice Cube's attention. I want to see Ice Cube. Where's Ice Cube? I want to talk to Ice Cube. And that is the only thing that I remember them from. So I can really only put them on dislike because I feel like, just like with Fanny, Fanny's only personality trait was I hate everything. And you had Black Hole's personality type, which is, oh, my morals, like, up and down and so on, and I don't really, like, know what I want to do. But I feel like they have their redemption moments. They have, like, a lot of good moments where they actually, you know, change character. They actually evolve and become better. But Bracelet's entire meaning for being here is, oh my god, I like Ice Cube, which is why I put them on dislike. Roboti. I don't really have any strong feelings for Roboti. I feel like they're just kind of there. Like, I know they have the Zen zone. They have, like, the entire, like, the place with the waterfall and the balance beam and so on. I don't think they have anything that's, like, super defining. They are just a robot. So I'm gonna put them on neutral. Stapy, I like Stapy. They try their best. Sometimes they are a little bit abused because of their ability to, you know, use staples and so on. They can kind of be a pushover depending on like what kind of situation you are in. If people can take advantage of Stapy, they definitely will. And Stapy doesn't really do a lot about it, which is like super annoying. But they are generally like super likable, which is why they go up to likable characters. More on the further left side. They're gonna be, yes, up here. Now, David. Do I have to say anything? Guys, where do you think David goes? If any of you would guess right now, where do you think David actually goes? Goat. You're absolutely right. Seriously. Oh, seriously? Give them like their own role? I think I could do that. I think, hold on. They get their own role up here. They get their own all seriously role. The only place that I can't, no. Yeah, that's the way. They get their own role here where they actually deserve to be in. 8 Ball. 8 Ball. 8 Ball's favorite number is 8. And I feel like that's also their entire personality type. Everything something 8 related is coming up. It's like 8 this, 8 that. How about you eat yourself? How about you 8 yourself? I would say that I'm neutral once again. Because I don't like 8 Ball, but I also don't hate them. I don't like them, but I don't hate them. But their only personality trait is just 8 this, 8 that. You're going down to neutral. We have about like 20 characters left, and this tier list, I can imagine it's a little bit controversial, but so far I really like the point where we're actually at now. Dora. So Dora is goofy. Dora is funny. And even though they want to eat islands, I feel like their entire like is like super funny. Dora has like some super good moments. So they deserve to be up here in amazing characters. Fiery Jr., even though do I say it? Guys, I don't really have to say anything. I really, right next to Fiery. I don't have to say anything. Fiery Jr. deserves to be like right next to Fiery. Now, we have the hosts, which means we have 4, X, and 2. 4 is funny, but they're also scary. They're also hurtful. They also have the exit. I don't really hate 4. They do have some very scary moments that makes for some like very good like character traits on them, but they also are a little bit unfair from time to time. Even though they are the host, they kind of like make their own rules. They're not a likable character. They're gonna be a neutral. Whenever I'm conflicted, like neutral is characters that don't have enough screen time to give them personality, or when I don't know if I like them or if I hate them. 4 is definitely neutral. X is sweet. They are a pushover. X is 100% a pushover. They try to make 4 happy as much as possible. X is a sidekick. X is 100% a sidekick. But I feel like if you actually allow X to shine, they can actually be a very, very important and good character. Whenever they do have the opportunity to shine, they do actually shine. So in that case, they're gonna be unlikable characters. They're gonna be like further up unlikable characters right here because they do have their moments. 2 is an amazing character. 2 has never shown a bad side to themselves. Yeah, they got infected once and basically, you know, no-clipped or like disappeared a lot of characters. But 2 overall is goofy. They have a likable personality. They are reasonable. They always recover when anyone dies. And I feel like they are a fair host. So in that case, I'm gonna put them up on amazing characters. We're at a point right now where these are all the side characters. We have all of the different side characters here in that one episode with the glue dissolution plan. I think I'm gonna rapid fire through these because I don't really have any strong opinions on them. Lotion, neutral. The lamp, neutral. Blender, neutral. The conch shell, neutral. VHS, neutral. Camera, they do have more screen time, but definitely neutral. 9 Ball is okay. Spatula is one of the first characters that's voted out, and they have like the entire speech, thank you everyone, and so on. From what I remember, Spatula has actually a likable personality, so they're on okay. Sink, neutral. Tape, neutral. Sissy, I don't think I can say that in 2025. They do have a little bit more screen time. I do remember like there is in the abandoned steakhouse where they're like more on screen, and there's like one section where they I can't really do anything other than neutral in this case. What is this? Onigiri? They also go on neutral. Leak goes on neutral. Job application. I know this is tax form. But we make a lot of jokes about tax form being job application. They don't really have a recognizable personality. They don't really have something that I remember them by, which is why they go on neutral. PDA is a bitch! They're not worst character of all time. But in that entire video, the entire like planned disillusive something, all they do is just like f around and steal people's items. So that's why I hate them. I don't have the same hatred towards PDA that I have for Profiley, so I can only put them on hate. Avocado, once again, neutral. Battery, Neutral? The cart have a little bit more screen time. Neutral? I don't even... Is there a trombone? What is this even? I don't even know who that is. Neutral. The mic. I remember the mic and the lamp. Like the mic and the... What is it? The stone lamp basically connected. And the mic dies whenever you like detach them. But again, neutral. The anchor is used at some point, right? There's like one section where they go down and get the yo-yo light and then they go like back in the past. But again, on neutral. Clappy on neutral. And we have Disky also goes on neutral. I feel like most of these characters from the Plan This Elusive something, they really only go in neutral because they don't really have a memorable impact. They don't really have... People are saying Anchor is a goat. What has Anchor ever done? The only thing that happens with Anchor is that they fall into a hole, they get the yo-yo light, and then they all teleport into the past, and then they fall down and get stuck again. That's literally the only thing that Anchor does. Like, there's a video here that says like, oh, here we have like all of the screen time. We have 3 minutes of screen time for Anchor. So I can't really do much more than that. I can only really do like neutral. Now, when it comes to these characters down here, we have non-existy. A lot of people like non-existy, but they're like non-existent. They're like not here. And it's kind of like, oh, do you like air? Do you like water? Do you like missionary? Oh, that's boring. That's insanely boring. Non-existy is a character that doesn't exist. You know, non-existy, it makes sense. It's kind of like this appearing guy from like Digital Circus, where their only kind of joke is that they disappear. And that's funny. It's a funny gag. It's a funny joke. But when we talk about what is their impact, what is their personality, what have they done to the show, they're gonna be likable. They're gonna be, I'm gonna stop. They're likable. Non-existy is a likable character. One sucks. One is the villain we need to progress the story, but one is a bully all the way, okay? I like their voice actor. They have a very, very good voice actor, but one in itself is just the devil. Like, the way that they rip arms and legs off of Donut and basically shove them back in is really, really annoying. So one is gonna be worst of all time next to Profiley. We have a bunch of numbers here that I also can't really give my opinion on, because I don't really think they have enough screen time. I don't remember 3. I don't remember 5. 6 is actually an okay character. 7 is also an okay character. 8, I don't remember. 9 is cool. They're definitely likable. 10 is evil, right? 14 sucks. 14 is down on hate. 15 is the one that shoots them, right? Isn't 15 the one that like kind of shoots them? 0 is definitely a neutral as well. 3 is neutral. 5 is neutral. 8 is neutral. Which one of these characters are the ones that shoot them? There's like one of these characters that have like a shed in the wood. Which character is that? That is 15. Okay, 15 definitely goes down into dislike because they're the one basically killing all the other numbers. 10 is the one that's overhyped. People be like, yo, I love 10. 10 is the GOAT. 10 is best. But again, 10 is fine. 12 is fine. And now we have a couple of speaker boxes. We have the original speaker box. We have the puffball speaker, the flowery speaker, and the fiery speaker. The original speaker box is kind of evil. Like, they run out of budget all the time, dude. Like, literally all the time. Oh, budget constraints, budget cuts, budget this, budget that, which is super annoying. They are the host of Battle for Dream Island, so I can't really put them too far down, but I'm gonna say that they are necessary in order to like move the story forward. So you're gonna be a okay character to me. The Puffball speaker is just annoying. I really don't like the Puffball speaker. They have Puffball's voice, and Puffball, as you can see here, is a neutral character, but I don't feel like the gag is not funny. It kind of gets old after like the first elimination. So in that case, I'm gonna put them down on dislike. Flowery speaker box. Flowery speaker box has the personality of Battle for Dream Island Flower, and I dislike Battle for Dream Island Flower, so they go down here. Fiery speaker box, on the other hand, is very fair. They are very likable. They are literally just fiery. So in that case, they're gonna go up to become a likable character. As for Lewis is the one that bought the free smart van, right? They have like a mini battle for BDFI. Do they have any like significant character traits? From what I can see here, searching for Lewis, they don't really have any like significant character. For that alone, honestly, amazing character. For that alone, dude. Evil Leafy. I actually kind of like Evil Leafy. I feel like even though they're evil and they're leafy, I like them. I feel like it's funny. Like every time Evil Leafy comes up on screen, I feel like it's super funny because everyone runs away in like pain and they scream and they So they're gonna be likable. Evil Leafy is definitely a likable character for me. Purple Face, on the other hand, is Purple Face is evil, but I don't think they have done evil enough to deserve to be like hate or worst of all time. But they definitely deserve to go into dislike. And now we have gotten to a few bit of characters that I actually don't recognize. We have a Lego piece, a music note, and we have a waffle. I remember the cheese bowl. The cheese bowl is from episode 15, where you like go back in time and they change the future and so on. But who are these three first characters? These guys are from BFDI and 5B. Oh, it's the Flash game. Wait, they're in the Flash game? We played a little bit of the Flash. The Flash game kind of sucked. I know that Waffle looks like Spongy, but I don't really have a personal connection to them, so I can really only put these guys once again down in neutral because I don't really have a... The same with the Cheese Ball. Cheese Ball can really only go into neutral because I don't really have a personal opinion of it. Needle. Needle is once again a character that really, really grows on you. In the start, whenever people call them needy, they get slapped, kind of gets old very quickly, but they grow with the show. Kind of, you know, pun intended, they grow with the show. But they are definitely a character that sticks with you. Like, they are super likable. They also do have their moments. They have their moments where they backstab and where they're, you know, kind of evil. But they are most of the time likable. I'm gonna put Needle up on amazing characters because they are actually an amazing character. TB, is TB likable or is TB amazing? Chat is saying TB is boring. TB is good in TPOT. I'm gonna be honest though, looking at different clips of TB right now, TB is kind of just there. TB has a very bland personality. Like, it's kind of like you need other objects in order to make TB interesting. TB smiles when they do have friends around them, but TB on their own is like kind of boring. So I would put them in okay. They're gonna be an okay. They're gonna be like a high okay character. So the last three we have is the Number, the Fish, and the Small Aliens. The Number is scary. It's freaky. It's horrifying. It is the scariest thing imaginable, but we don't really know a whole lot. We have seen it once. There's a prison inside a Force exit where we don't really see what comes out of that prison, and that could be the Numbers. But we only really know from them from all the subscriber specials, and we have only seen them appear once. So in that case, I can only really put them in neutral because we only hear about how terrifying they are, how scary they are, how they can destroy entire cities, but we only get a glimpse of them in that one subscriber special, and boom, then they disappear. Fish Monster is definitely likable. They host in one episode of Battle for Dream Island again. They do have that like one lovemaking scene in TPOT that I really like. You know, that's one of my favorite scenes of all time. I can only really put them on okay characters because they don't really appear a whole lot, but when they do, they have like a little bit of a smug personality, a little bit of a, you know, don't talk back to me otherwise I'm gonna clap you type of personality. But they always have a little bit of authority with them. Like how they speak and how they act is like sassy, but with authority. And for that, they're gonna be okay character. The aliens are small little goobers. They are small little guys, funny little goikis, funny little aliens, a goofy little boy, a buddy, a little guy, a little chill one. And for that, they deserve to be... They do beat up two in one episode. So I can only really put them on likable. And they're gonna be right here next to X in likable. And here is my Battle for Dream Island and TPOT tier list, everybody. Spongy, of course, deserves to be in the highest spot because they're my favorite character of all time. Bubble, super nice. Ruby, amazing. I should have definitely moved Balmy in the middle. So it's Bubble, Balmy, and then Ruby. David, of course, have their own tier. We have a lot of good characters and amazing characters, likable characters, and so on. The only problem I had with this was a lot of the characters from the Planned is Elusive, whatever it's called, and a lot of like the Number characters don't really have enough screen time for me to like put them anywhere else. So that's why I put them in neutral. But I want to know the comments. I want to know from you guys, is this a W tier list or is this a bad tier list? And why am I good? Why am I goated? Why is this the best BFDI tier list ever made. If I'm wrong in any places, if I put your favorite character in the wrong spot, please let me know in the comments why they actually deserve a higher score. I'm pretty happy with this. I feel like I nailed this pretty spot on in terms of like what characters that I personally like and what characters that, you know, don't really do like a whole lot of stuff. L tier list because Nickel isn't in the best tier. You know, for that, I'm gonna just like delete them entirely. Editor, can you like remove Nickel from the tier list, please? But with that said, guys, let me know what you think of this tier list and let me know if I put your character in the wrong spot. If you like it, if you didn't, let me know. With that said, thank you all for watching and I will head out.